It happened. Marvel finally released the Avengers Infinity War trailer, and it was crazy. Admittedly, I was hoping to see that shot from the leaked D23 trailer where Thanos literally throws a moon at someone, but still, I admit, I was fanboying over this trailer. That being said, it also brought up a question I've had in the back of my mind for a while. With such a huge roster of characters, can this movie possibly be good? I know, a weird question for a huge Marvel Cinematic Universe fan to ask, but one that I feel is valid after the last Avengers film underwhelmed so many fans, including myself. Having too many characters can make a movie unbalanced and make it hard for the audience to really connect with any one character's goals. But luckily, this trailer actually addressed this concern, and I'll get into how in today's episode. I'm Christian Pearson, and this is Superhero Studies. This movie, along with its sequel set for a 2019 release, is meant to wrap up a decade of films. It's the culminating epic for the world's most successful movie franchise. And because of how much the MCU has grown, this means there are a ton of characters who need to be worked in a satisfying way. We've got all the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Wasp, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and all their side characters, plus the big bad of the movie, Thanos, who's bringing along his Black Order, meaning there's at least another 5 characters, all who need introductions and screen time. Personally, my least favorite films in the MCU are the ones with larger rosters of characters, Age of Ultron, Guardians 2, and Civil War. Civil War and Guardians 2 are pretty decent movies, so admittedly this is more of a concern I have because of my personal preferences. But with a range of 30 to 40 significant characters in Infinity War, I'd say it's definitely still a valid concern. When there are nearly 40 characters who need their time to shine, how are we going to be made to care about any of them in the span of a 2.5-hour movie? Which is my guess on the runtime based on Marvel's past films. Luckily, the directors taking on this film do have experience working with large rosters of characters. For those unfamiliar, the Russo Brothers, who are helming this film, also did Civil War, Winter Soldier, but even before that, they directed a lot of Arrested Development and Community, both stellar and hilarious TV shows with a lot of characters. Also, side note, that's why you can see the Bluth stair car in the background of the Civil War airport fight, and why Community actors have shown up in both Civil War and Winter Soldier. Anyway, something to keep in mind is it's a lot easier to deal with a ton of characters when you're doing a TV show. You can let a few characters step into the background for a few episodes if need be, and nobody will be that upset. With a big crossover movie like this, everyone needs their time in the sun. So how do you deal with that and still make the characters engaging? Well, I'd say the best example to date are Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. So what did those movies do right? Well, to oversimplify it, they started out with the characters separate to introduce them, brought them together based on a common goal, then kept them together based on that same goal or based on a new mutual goal. In Avengers, to an extent, they all wanted to stop Loki. In Guardians, they all want the orb containing the Infinity Stone for various reasons, mostly money, then eventually all want to save Xandar and the galaxy from Ronan. Bringing the team together and keeping them together like this works because the more the characters are grouped up, the more screen time we get out of each of them. If you split up the characters, then they all get less screen time because it has to be divided up amongst them. Plus, if you think about it, a big drawcard of Avengers movies is people getting to see their favorite characters interacting. So the more characters you can bring together, the better. And although there does seem to be a decently big split of the characters in Infinity War, this trailer actually has somewhat addressed my concern about it being too split up. With a roster of characters this big, it'd be hard to just bring all of them together and keep that group as a unit. But this trailer seems to show that we have 3 distinct groups of heroes, who I'll refer to as the New Yorkers, the Wakandan Avengers, and the Space... folks. And these teams will probably end up being a bit different as this trailer didn't give too much away, but I think the movie will still be divided in roughly this way. The first group is the New Yorkers, presumably Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Wong, Spider-Man, and Bruce Banner at first. Then there's the Wakandan Avengers, that being Captain America's Avengers team, who have all met up in Black Panther's homeland of Wakanda, where that big war scene seems to be happening. Finally, we have the space folks, meaning Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Also, other fans have speculated that it's actually Bruce Banner in that Hulkbuster suit in the trailer, which would mean that only Hulk jumped over to the Wakandan Avengers grouping, while Tony is still out doing stuff with the New York unit. Splitting the movie off like this makes perfect sense. 3 groupings will make a reasonable number of storylines and means no team will be too big. Every character will get a good amount of screen time, and likely at the end we'll get all the characters coming together to fight as one big crazy Marvel hero army. But that might be delayed until the next movie, as there is a chance these are split into Part 1 and Part 2. We'll see, we have no official word on that. Now, as a huge fan of Thanos in the comics, I would love to see him getting his own storyline and character arc, but it would mean dividing the movie up that much more, so I don't know what I should be hoping for in regards to him and his team of baddies. The Russo brothers have said they want to make Thanos this generation's Darth Vader, which is very ambitious and would likely mean he'd need a fair share of screen time. All in all, I do have faith in the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige, the top dog at Marvel Studios. Winter Soldier is in my top 5 favorite movies of all time, and Marvel has a pretty proven track record overall, even if they do occasionally stumble into mediocrity. And even if Avengers Infinity War ends up being underwhelming, I'm sure there'll at least be some crazy awesome action scenes with everyone's favorite MCU characters, and with Thanos, the coolest big bad in all of comics. Obviously that's my opinion, but whatever, this is my show, I can say whatever I want. Anyway, what do you think about the Avengers Infinity War trailer? Who are you most excited to see interacting and teaming up before all of our favorite characters are likely killed off because their actors' contracts are up? Let me know in the comments below. Also, click the subscribe button and the bell, or like my page on Facebook or follow me on Twitter to get notified when I release another one of these nerdy rambles each Wednesday. I'm Christian Pearson, and thanks so much for watching Superhero Studies.